Hey, what's up, everybody? I got my co-host here for the night, and we got a few other people coming through. By the way, if you are on YouTube, thank you. Like the show, subscribe to the channel. I am the C28. This is what we are doing, and I got a couple other guys supposed to be coming in. And if we have to, we're gonna add a few more people. So just so you know, sorry for being late. I had to get a tire for my lawnmower, so you know it sucks sometimes, but you got to do what you got to do, right?
Right.
All right. Well, we got Jerry here with us. We had a blast doing the show the last time, Saturday. So we decided to bring him on back. You didn't run away from us, and actually you look great there. I like your setup there.
Yeah.
So
Not bad for sitting on a bed.
yeah, well, thank God for StreamYard to giving us the option to put pictures behind us, so we don't have to.
If
show off.
not, it's just a blue wall with a horseshoe cross.
Yeah, well, for me, I have you've seen my setup, so
Yeah.
it's not like it's one of those. So, but yeah, so here we are. And by the way, already got some comments here, so let's get to it. I want to thank Keely for joining us. Let's go, C-Dub. Appreciate you. Larry from the Dixon Way. Make sure you guys give Larry a shout out. Check him out on the Dixon Way. He does a lot of the live commentaries for Hawks, also the Braves, and probably he's going to do some for the basketball. So, and I got once I can get some confirmation from somebody, I can actually tell everyone what we are planning to do for our Saturday show. So, like I said, it's just one of those I got to get confirmation because I want to make
out
sure
all the details.
Yeah. Iron all the details, if you know. So, all right. So, wrestling was hot. We're basically going to review SmackDown. We're going to review Raw. So, and we're going to try to not, take so long like we did with WrestleMania, but that was WrestleMania. So, that kind of gets a bigger, perch.
Yeah, a little bit.
So, and like I said, I got a couple other guys I'm hoping that we can get on. And if anyone wants to be on, message me. We'll get it through you. All right. So let's start off. We're going to talk about SmackDown because, when after Mania, we all talk about what things we remember from the night afters.
Right.
And it's always going to be a few things: new rivalries, and then new wrestlers, new people showing up. Yeah. So Raw, if you remembered from last Monday, we saw Ilya, we saw Roxanne, and it was just really awesome. And you saw how the setup was and everything. Well, SmackDown, they did not disappoint because obviously we had Cody come out with the belt, which again, we're having a champion showing up. And now I'm already hearing people go, oh, I think, don't you think it's kind of overrun? Don't you think he's getting stale? I'm like, the man hasn't even defended the belt yet.
He's had it for not even a week.
We don't even know who his opponent is at Backlash. And it's like, you're not going to represent or, replicate the Rock and Roman feud.
Right.
As much as we love AJ Styles, he's not that. So
yeah, he's not Uncle Alan.
Yeah. Like, Uncle Alan can only give you what Uncle Alan can. And by the way, Uncle Alan ripped, my man. Oh, my God.
And the sad thing is, he said he's only got a few years left.
Well, you know what? Look, you know how this is. If you got a few years left, you do those few years, then you go to AEW and become a main eventer, and then then you leave there, go back to Impact. He's got about 20 years left now. I got it. We got our other guy here, Mr. Ladarius. Thank you so much for joining us, my man.
Likewise. How are you guys?
Oh, man, we're doing good. Ladarius, this is Jerry, by the way. And, folks, if you did not get to see Jerry, he showed up with us, and we were able to do a show Saturday, the open forum show, because somebody forgot to, bring water and forgot to show up, Ladarius. But anyway, we're not mad about that, Ladarius.
I don't take it personal. I still get paid.
I'm glad you don't, man.
The check always clears. So.
Yeah, exactly. Mine keeps bouncing. I don't know how yours keeps
right.
going. But we're just talking about SmackDown from what happened. Big stuff that came out of it was we ended up getting 6 contenders, so 2 triple threats for the WWE title. It's kind of refreshing to actually see newer faces being able to get a shot at the belt finally. And LA Knight beats Bobby Lashley and Legato, and now it looks like Legato's going to feud with Bobby Lashley's crew. I'm kind of nervous about it, you know, 'cause eventually I kind of, it's like Lashley should be in a bigger picture, but then also Legato needs to move up eventually.
Yeah.
So I hope for the best on those guys. But I do like the idea of them at least having a few matches or something. At least break up the Latinos. We need separation. The Latinos don't need to be fighting each other all the time. I mean,
Right.
It's almost like 101. Okay, we got Latinos. Put them together. All right, let's go. So, and then we had AJ, Kevin Owens, Rey Mysterio. They got to have their match. But everyone's really talking about the new, some would say new tribal chief. Solo brought up consequences for losing. Now, we're not going to bring up the fact that he hasn't won a match since beating John Cena. That would be totally, not right. We're not going to bring up he's been 0-34 since then. We're not. But I guess it's Solo's mind. If you wrestled at WrestleMania, there's consequences. So, so that's kind of how I'm seeing this. Therefore, they decided to Joe Pesci Jimmy Uso. Homeboy got beat down. Haku's went, Tama Tonga went full throttle, attacking him. What I liked about it was you had everyone's like, well, y'all complain about, well, who's this guy? Who's this guy? Well, Corey made sure and said, that's Tama Tonga.
Yeah.
Wade said, yeah, that's Haku's son.
Yeah.
They've been in Japan tearing it down, and you're going, that's how you do it. Unless you're going to have a video, and I think they will. I hope. There's got to be some ways to do it. They did it for Cody.
Yeah.
But I think there'll be some ways. And, here's the thing. The man came in, and he's now wrestling under his name. It's not a different name. It's him. So that has to be good for him. But yeah, they beat the holy hell. They destroyed Paul Heyman's phone. One little small nitpick, though. So they killed Jimmy. They even go to the back to check on him. Paul's like, oh, so bad. Naomi makes a beeline to Bayley for a title match. That woman didn't care about Jimmy. She just looked at him and was like, all right, I got a high step here because Bayley's just said my name.
Yeah.
Hit my music, Bruce. I'd say that in jest, but that match was actually good. Her and Tiffany.
It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, yeah. And then Bayley looking great as the champ, and I can't wait to see where it takes her from here. So, guys, what did y'all think of SmackDown? And what was your takeaways? What are things that you kind of exciting you to watch the next one? We'll start off with you, Jerry, since you're new here.
Of course. Well, being the 13 concussions and slight memory loss. Like you said, the Tiffany and Naomi match was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I'm kind of growing on Tiffany. I didn't like her in NXT, but she's kind of growing on me. The Tama, debuting, I was real excited. Heard it was coming, knew it was coming. Didn't know when, didn't know how. I think that can lead to some excellent stories down the line. Me and you've talked about. Let's see. It's about all I remember.
No, that's totally fine, man. And like I said, I love and I agree with you. Tiffany Stratton, seeing her come from NXT, but seeing her how she's developed from the Rumble to now, she's really leaped up big time. So, Ladarius, what do you have to think about with SmackDown? Or did you get to watch it first of all?
Oh no, yeah, I try to watch. So I did get a chance to watch it. To kind of, to kind of start there, with Tiffany Stratton, I always liked her character down in NXT. I think when you first, when she, the first couple of matches, I'm like, we got something here. And then we see her, NXT, and we see her kind of compete, I think, with Becky. We see her interacting, one of the best superstars of our generation in Becky Lynch. We get stuff there. And then, but we fast forward to SmackDown. it was a great match between her and Naomi. Naomi, a former champion in her own right. I think Tiffany Stratton, I think that's kind of a setup for down the road. I think Stratton could be a future champion. We could see a potential Stratton Bailey match. I don't know which pay-per-view. I highly doubt it'll be Backlash. If you build it up long enough, we could potentially get it at SummerSlam potentially. If you kind of build it, depending what the plans are there.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I love the continuation of the Bloodline storyline, because the thing is, we've gotten people like, oh well, we've gotten tired of it, but a great story can always continue if you get the right chapter. And I think what we saw in the ring with Heyman, and what we saw with Sikoa, and then we saw listen, what happened to Jimmy Uso doesn't feel right. You kind of felt the hits watching it at home, but it was very kind of, I don't want to say reminiscent of, how the Judgment Day kicked out Edge, just beating the bejesus out of him. And, and also speaking of Bailey, how kind of Damage Control kind of beat Bailey out of a group she created. But I think what we're getting with the Bloodline, we're getting that next chapter. That's one of the biggest takeaways I took from SmackDown, is that now where are we going to go from here? We got Hakuso, so what are we going to do from there? And as far as the contenders matches, I think they were good. And you guys, I think we talked about Lashley. I like Lashley, but I think he's at the point of his career where I don't know if does he have a championship run in him?
Right.
Yeah, if you want to go that route. I like Bobby Lashley. Yeah, I like the Catino. They were solid matches. People may not like the two people who are like, well, didn't we see this match? This match looks familiar. Like, didn't we see this at Wrestle? But I'm fine with the outcome of both matches. So I'm just curious. This show was all about kind of turning the page post WrestleMania 40, kind of getting an insight of maybe what Triple H is going to do there on that side. But overall, I enjoyed the product. It was an excellent show to me. Given the circumstances of it.
I agree. And I mean, when you look at that, and see, that's why I was looking like Kevin Owens, I could see him in the title picture. I could see Bobby Lashley in the title picture, because you're going to have feuds that eventually you bring in guys and you can get them, to face, Cody, if you're going to feed, guys to Cody to wrestle, and to set up feuds. And then we'll talk about the draft. But I mean, the pay-per-view Backlash is going to be May 4th. I thought it was going to be a little earlier. So, and I know that the draft is like it's basically draft weekend. So, Thursday is round 1. So on Friday they do round 2 and 3. Well, during that, it's going to be the night SmackDown is going to air their draft. So I get what they're doing, trying to catch the fever. But I think personally, if you're a wrestling fan, you'll watch it. If you're a football fan, you'll have something on the ticker so you can actually see it. So I have no problem with that idea at all. So when we look at, I like the Kevin Owens and Rey Mysterio AJ match, by the way. I don't know what y'all thought of it. I thought AJ looked great, but not just that, but man, Rey. I mean, it's funny when you hear Rey go, I think I got another one in me. And I'm going, nah. But then it's like, actually, yeah, you do. I mean, you wouldn't be surprised, but at least you go, he's a good opponent to have to do that with.
Right.
So what do y'all think about LA Knight versus AJ Styles rematch? And then obviously, let's go ahead. We'll just pick a winner here. What do y'all think for this Friday night? Who's going to win the match? We'll go with Ladarius.
This feels like a legit coin flip to me, because I can see a case where you can make a case for both. On one hand, you could kind of go the LA Knight route, which would be fine. But to me, AJ Styles, I feel like this is his last run. I think, in my opinion, I think, great. I think a part of me feels they might go AJ Styles because of what happened at WrestleMania 40. I don't see AJ Styles losing to LA Knight twice. In this, could it happen? Sure. Listen, it could have happened. Sure. We've seen it. We've seen it happen before, but I lean toward AJ Styles, and it's no disrespect to LA Knight, but I just kind of feel like this match is going to be great. Hopefully, it's somewhat better than what we saw at WrestleMania 40.
Yeah.
So I'll go AJ Styles on this one, just because of the fact that I feel that he's got that one more run. I think LA Knight has a little bit more time. I think give AJ kind of this one more run, championship, kind of, contendership run in that regard.
All right. What do you think?
I mean, I agree. I mean, I've known AJ a long time, and like you said, he's in the best shape ever since I've known him in the past 20 some odd years. But I agree. I think LA Knight, I would like to see him win just because I really like LA Knight's character. But I agree. I think AJ's got that one last run, and if it goes that way, which I think it will, but
I think AJ's the guy because I think there is some meat. There's a feud there.
oh yeah,
I mean, especially a first one, and I got to go here. I don't see how you can have a bad match with AJ Styles. I mean, I get what you're saying, Ladarius. Their WrestleMania match wasn't great,
yeah.
But what I'm going to say is AJ can still go. And if he's got a guy invested and can carry a match, Cody can definitely be that. Obviously, he's the champ, but I really like the idea of Cody and AJ, especially we all know about the NWA title ties, as well as AJ's fought Dusty when he was young in his career. That is something that no one really forgets about.
And they're two homegrown bullies.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I mean, that's kind of, and then if you think about this, that would main event, the Backlash. So that would be a pretty dang honor right there in France of all things. But I would be down for it. I think AJ, and honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing an LA Knight. But it would be face, and we need a heel face right now. And AJ, the way he's going, he really could easily start shooting, and I just want to see. I want to get Cody to start shooting back too. We need a smart ass Cody now, because apparently after just a few promos, people can get bored. And I'm sorry, that really has aggravated me. I saw that on in the group chat we had. People were going, "Well, don't you think it's getting bored?" I'm like, the man ain't even had a match.
He's been champion for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like, and then
a title defense.
Well, Seth Rollins was more entertaining. I'm like, don't even give me that. The moment Seth wins a belt, he becomes Mr. Boring. Or the outfits are outlandish, but then after that, he gets that mic.
It looked like he raided Becky's closet.
Oh my God! I mean, how much stuff is in Becky? I mean, to the point Becky's now going, I don't own that. I mean, and if y'all haven't, you got to watch Hot Ones with Becky and Seth. That one was so funny. I enjoyed watching that. That was hilarious. All right, so let's go to our next segment. This is because this was the main thing that broke, and it sucks. Rhea Ripley has to vacate the WWE Women's title, or the World's Women's title. This woman was on a streak. She was doing her thing. We know how in wrestling you do a skit or something, and sometimes things are going to happen. And Jerry is very true
to that. Been there, done that.
Jerry has had many of things backfired upon him. Henceforth, is the lone wolf thing. But for a guy that says lone wolf, you team up a whole lot, though.
Yeah, that's not my doing. Blame the bookers.
That's going to be our new catchphrase on Saturday. Blame
the booker.
Yeah, we might need to do that. But all right, so let's talk about it. Rhea Ripley, she has to let this title go. No one has really said how long she's out for. I've seen some reports saying 6. I don't know, Jerry, if you saw anything.
As far as how long being out, no. I saw something about, what was it? It was something in her shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
It was a sprain or something. I'm assuming 4 to 6 months. Yeah.
Yeah. I was hearing AC joint. I can't, but I don't know. So that's why it's like, that's why I was wondering. All right. So guys, let's go around the horn. What did you think about the news, and who do you think should be the new women's champion. And how do we fix this mess? Even though we do have a draft coming up, but they're saying they're going to crown a new champion next week. So what do y'all think?
Oh Lord, next week. Go ahead.
Okay. It's interesting. Well, first of all, I think it doesn't need to be said. I think Rhea Ripley dominance, and it was very hard to see her give up that belt. Like I said, things happen. Just like in life, things happen. And so it was very hard because you just kind of saw the trajectory of where she was going. It felt like she was going to hold the title the rest of this year. Potentially, maybe I think she was going to have that dominant, long reign. And like I said, things happen, which is super unfortunate. Now, as far as when we talk about maybe who's going to potentially be champion, I look at it two ways. I look at it at, how long is Rhea really going to be out? Because initially I kind of saw, the shoulder. I said, well, man, that's at least maybe four months. And, worst case scenario, like Jeremy, like 6 weeks, 6 months, excuse me. So in that kind of short time frame, so we don't need a champion maybe to have necessarily a long reign. And then two people come to mind. I think, and listen, it might not be a popular name, or to me, it's interesting. I think Nia Jax is a name that needs to be considered. Because when I look at Nia Jax, I still feel that she doesn't get enough credit for the work that she's done. In the past, things happen, but since her return, it's been pretty good. I think it's fine. Like there's little nitpicks here and there, but I think it would be an interesting way. You put it on somebody you trust, somebody who's been a champion in the past. It feels safe, which is absolutely fine because you want somebody like who's going to hold on to it until Rhea comes back and then go from there. And then another one, kind of like an outside the box situation. You could go with someone who I feel should be champion, has never been a singles champion in WWE. And I think for some reason, Shayna Baszler came to my mind. And to me, and people like, if you look at her run there, like she was a dominant NXT women's champion. And then she goes to the main roster and she was relegated to just being in tag team after tag team and being tag team champions. And I think she's much bigger than that. So they could kind of go a route there if they wanted to, potentially, because I think you give it to someone who she gets her run. No one's expecting the next champion to hold the belt for the next year, like to be super clear. You give it to someone, kind of hold it so they can go one or two routes. They can go, to me, like since Becky's out of the picture, you could go, I think Nia is on that list, and I think either Shayna Baszler for kind of those reasons there. Nia because that's kind of safe, she's been a champion, and Shayna to kind of go outside of the box. You can kind of throw Zoe Stark in that conversation as well too. So those are kind of my 2-3 kind of potential options there.
And I agree on all three of those.
Outside
of the box wise, just so she has her moment, I would say Natty.
Oh, someone.
Yeah, and I mean, I know a lot of people hate on Natty, but Natty is, as far as in ring, is great.
Yeah.
Now, as far as returning, I say Charlotte or Alexa. But
how hard was it? Just right. Keep it at Alexa. But anyway.
But as to who is currently on the main roster right now, because Natty's been on NXT for the past couple of shows, I would agree with Nia, Shayna, Zoe, hell, even maybe Tiffany.
Here's my thought. I wish if they did this, do it like a really good tournament style, where you can like kind of how New Japan does their tournaments,
right?
If you really wanted to. But either way, have it where everyone's involved. All right. Then now you're involved in the Smack because we're going to have a draft.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're not going to gimmick this up if you wanted to. But my thing is now returning people. The first name I thought was Alexa because if we want to, we're going to talk about the Bray Wyatt or the Wyatt 6 thing that came up and how an unusual name was sharing some info. No, not Jerry, but Matt Hardy decided to be a part of this now. But yeah, I think the outside chance person is Natalya, because it's like this. I hope they don't give it to Liv right away.
Right.
They don't need to, because she actually gave them an out to not do it.
Right. And Liv's one of my options too.
Yeah, no, same here. But when she said, my revenge tour ends when I win that title, well, then don't win the title. You don't let her win it until a month or even a few weeks before Rhea shows up.
Right.
You want to keep that alive. So I like Shayna Baszler. I like, what was it, Zoe Starks? I don't know about Ivory, though. I would love for Ivory to at least get a strong run.
Yeah.
She's
improved a lot.
Oh, she has. And that's why I would like to see her get some momentum, try to see. But I would like her to, kind of get involved, though. But, there's a person that even though they've kind of been with this whole Candice, LeRae thing, we have never seen Candice LeRae wrestle.
Right. And then she can go.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know because you're sending me matches, but yeah, seriously, she could be something that really, if you're carrying over, there's no need for Chelsea to be involved. She needs to be squashed. Piper would be interesting. I would like to see Piper and Nia go at it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go here. I am looking at Nia Jax. I am going. She's gotten her life straight. She has been doing great work in the ring. She's putting it all together basically. And also having Hunter there to kind of give her support of no one's going to take advantage of you. I think that's something huge that we could talk about on that. I really like that idea. And like I said, I would just do it as a full tournament. Showcase your women. You could dedicate, for Raw, you could dedicate a full hour, full hour and a half to the women's matches, to the tournament. And you could even start it. Okay, and announce it, because it's not like you're saying, you're saying these women deserve it, and these are the matches we're going to, and the fans would still get behind it.
And I mean, if you don't want to put it on, live television on Raw or SmackDown, this month, for example, this month doesn't have a pay-per-view that I know of.
Yeah, that's what I'm
do another Evolve pay-per-view, strictly women.
Yeah.
There's your tournament.
That would be awesome if they did that. That's what I'm saying. There's ways of doing it. And now some people are like, well, so now let's get to the other part, because I was seeing a lot of this going on in the group chats and just in posts in general. Well, why is Liv, Liv is the one that got attacked, and no one cared about her injury. They only care about Rhea. So I have an answer. You guys maybe might agree with me. I don't know. But I would like those people to come closer to the screen and just understand. Hold on. Liv never got over. Rhea did. And Rhea's the monster heel. But she got over. Fans love Mommy. Fans love Rhea.
Plus, she's a champion.
Yeah, and all of that, Rhea is badass. Liv isn't. I hate to break it to you.
I mean, I love Liv, and I agree.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Liv didn't get over. So when you have that, you got to go, okay, what do we got to do? Well, you do what you had to, which was basically Liv turned heel. And I loved it. I thought she did a great job. And I love the fact she said, this doesn't end until I win the belt. So I'm going, I wouldn't put the belt on her until you get closer to Rhea coming back. Almost and make it almost known.
Yeah.
She knows she's got a certain amount of time before Mommy comes back, and then Mommy's coming to kill her.
Yeah.
Mommy's coming back for what's hers. That's what, if I'm WWE, that's what I'm working with. But you got to get from there to there. So, so now, yes, I'm debuting a nice little ticker here. I hope everyone enjoys it. But, basically my notes. I ended up turning it into my notes by accident.
I got mine on my phone.
Good. So, all right. So Raw was live in the Technicolor, if you will. All right, we did not start off with a Cody Romo promo, so those fans should be happy because we started off with Rhea surrendering the belt. What did y'all think, though? I mean, really, honestly, Montreal did give a dang about Rhea, but what did y'all think?
Well, I missed up to about Sheamus's match.
Okay.
So I didn't get to see that live.
Okay, so you didn't see where she basically called out Liv and basically got
I saw a video clip of it, but I didn't see it live. But I mean, the way Rhea being Rhea, that was the perfect way for Rhea to do it.
Yeah, she's amazing. She has the presence. She's a superstar, and it's going to be missed not having her on. What do you think, Ladarius?
Yeah, I think when her opening up the show, and you could feel it from the crowd. She, it's amazing. People understand. Like, yeah, she's heel? Sure. But when you hear that crowd in Montreal, when she came out, like, when you hear the music,
yeah, and
then you hear the crowd, and then she comes out with the, with her arms, with the sling, and then she's going out there and essentially calls out Liv Morgan out there, putting her belt on, on the mat. It goes to show you, and it's amazing if you look at how Rhea Ripley's trajectory is to get to this point, which I kind of talk, allude to her trajectory to get to this point. It didn't come overnight, and people think, well, you're not supposed to like heels, but when she steps into that music, like I said, when that music hits, it's just different, and she's a superstar. She's, kind of, and no disrespect to Liv Morgan, I love Liv Morgan. Do not get me wrong, but it hits different for Rhea, and there's a reason why she was the champion. I think she can, like I say, before injury, she was going to have a dominant reign. I had no doubt about that. And then you kind of transition throughout the show. It was, to talk about Sheamus and like I say in the music, and I'm like, oh. So I was like, wait, who was that? And then I hear the music, I'm like, it sounds a little familiar. I'm like, I know I'm old, so I had to turn the TV up a little bit. And so I'm like, that sounds like Sheamus is old. And then sure, he comes out.
It's the shameful thing. Lost her head.
I'm like, okay, we got
too many lines.
Yep. Skip word. It is the same. But I think overall, just talking overall from Raw, I really loved it. I think the Rhea to kick off was a great idea. Seeing Sheamus debut, or re-debut coming back was great. It was a great match. It wasn't no squash match. It was a very, very, very good match.
Yeah, I thought of that match was good.
It was.
And then you kind of move down. To me, I do want to talk about, quickly. I don't know if we're going to talk, but I'll just bring up like Zayn and Gable, and kind of like before the camera work. How we saw Jay, and then you transition, you see Sammy in the back taking the high fives, and then he's going. I just love the camera work there first.
Oh, we're gonna go over it, I promise, because that was just simply.
It was good, but going back to Rhea to the end point, I just feel like it's going to be missed, but I think the division is going to be fine because if you think about it, no Rhea and there's going to be no Becky. You could argue the two top, female talent on that brand.
Yeah.
So the question is, how do you transition to who takes the mantle? Is the penultimate question. And with the draft coming, how that draft goes is going to kind of tell you where they're going to go from the women's division moving forward without Rhea and Becky for the immediate future.
Man, I like that. So let's just talk about the Sheamus thing because, man, I made sure I got back and I was able to catch up to everything. First of all, WWE, you're doing great with the production. I just need a feature. And I need it to mute Pat McAfee. Because if I could just mute Pat McAfee and watch everything else and hear everything, we're good. I cannot stand Pat McAfee. I hate him. I'm going to say that from the top of my lungs. But anyway, but that entrance, because he's going with the old or the original like Bruiserweights where they had the Fight Night theme.
Yeah.
And when he did, it's Fight Night. And then you heard the pop, and I'm going, am I hearing It's a Shameful? No. I wound it. Too many lines! So I was popping. I mean, I like that Sheamus. I love that music. That is one of my favorite entrants or favorite themes because it's just I hate to say it. I don't think it makes any sense if you ever listen to it, but you just go, and it's perfect for him. I mean, I loved it. I thought that
it's supposed to make sense as long as it's good on the
ear. Yeah. Sometimes that's the best thing. I like the Judgment Day consoling Rhea. That was cool. And Priest going, we got this. And then basically Priest going, now I'm the boss because we're going to go over that. And then, okay, so we got the Sheamus match. It was really good. It really was. I enjoyed to see him back. I know people were kind of poking fun at the shape he was in. Jerry, I was going to say,
how long was he gone?
Yeah, how old is Sheamus, first of all? But
that too.
But also, he was gone 8 months, and I believe this was a neck injury, right?
I don't know.
Okay, I believe it's a neck injury.
Yeah, I think it was.
So if it's a neck injury, you can't really be working out the way Homeboy works out.
Right. He's fucking crazy when it comes to working out.
Yeah, so I want the fans to pump the brakes, just like the whole Cody thing. We're going to pump brakes, people, because there's no need to body shame Sheamus, because a lot of us want to look like that Sheamus right now. I mean,
I wish I had that cardio.
I was about to say the same thing. I mean, you didn't see him going.
I got that body. I just don't have that cardio.
My thing is this. If you can tell me you could go against Ivar, and by the way, Ivar,
a man his size shouldn't move the way he moves.
Thank you.
It doesn't feel fair. Like him and like Eric, it doesn't feel like these bouncing off the middle rope. I'm like,
Eric, I can see it because he's not as big, but
yeah. But Ivar does, and not only that. Okay, I know Jerry was. I know he went to a few shows, but I've went to some shows that he's wrestled in Ring of Honor. That man he's going just as fast as the lightweights. And I'm going, Jesus, dude, you're gonna kill somebody. But I mean, he could do the jumps and dives and everything, but my Lord, his match with Sheamus I loved. I thought they really did a great job. Kneecap, by the way. That's a pretty cool name. Didn't think about that. And then he almost choked Pat McAfee to death, which Sheamus, next time, just jerk a little hard next time. But anyway, now let's talk about the new tag team titles. Finally getting rid of the copper pennies. Finally getting rid of the silver dollar belts.
Thank God.
Probably the worst title design ever known to man for a tag team. When you look and go, oh, I got the penny belt. That's not a good thing.
Yeah.
And then, we got the red. We got the red silver. Well, we got the blue silver. I hated those belts. I can't stress enough how much I hated those belts. So anyway, Triple H, the game, decides to come out. He's going to present these belts to Awesome Truth. I love our Truth.
I love Ron.
So here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to pass this around because my comments may be a little explosive on this one because it was getting to me. So anyway, we'll start with Jerry. What do you thought?
I mean, Ron is a national treasure.
Yes, he is.
He always has been since Wildside. I love the new belts. They look 10 times better.
Oh God, yes.
Than those old belts. Still not quite a fan of that style of the belt, but that's me growing up in Attitude and early 2000s belts. But they look 10 times better.
Okay, what about you there, Ladarius?
Look, to be honest, anything was better than that. Like,
I don't know, that U.S. title's kind of ugly.
Well,
I don't know. I like the U.S. title now, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say you're wrong about it, but I mean, I would have took the U.S. title design over whatever them tag team belts were. If we had the lesser of two evils concept.
I mean, yeah.
I like the belts. It's different. Not surprised they changed the belts, but like I say, I was just expecting something just completely different from whatever was there, and it was hard to mess up what was already there, and so it was fine, with the color. So I liked it compared to what we had. So
it looks like the way they're doing it is like Raw's brand of titles are going to be very similar to each other.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming SmackDowns are going to be very similar to each other.
If not copy and paste. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
There better be a W on the new tag titles. So, that will be interesting how that. And not with that, guess who gets those belts? It will be Waller and Austin Theory. Jerry's favorite guy in the world, Austin Theory.
Theory's not that bad. He's just stiff.
He speaks from experience. Anyway, so my thoughts on this was this. I liked it. It did feel like it was getting, like I wanted to go, can we, come on, Truth, get it out. Sometimes it's like you get the wrong guys to be, ooh, hi there. By the way, thank you, Ron, or thank you, Ryan, historian. You say, what's going on, fellas? This man is awesome, folks. You go to the Birdcage, check him out with the crew. They do some great shows. Ryan, I hope you're listening because I just got a notification that this Saturday at 1 o'clock, we're going to have John Chuckery from 92.9 The Game, and he'll be on the show, being a part of the open forum, and we'll be talking wrestling. So if anyone's interested, we're going to be shouting that out. I just got the notification I was waiting on, so he's going to be on the show. It's going to be fun. So, and yes, he's a big Jim Cornette fan, so just telling you all that, it's going to be fun because I'm going to bring that crap up. It's going to be hilarious. Because lately, kind of agree with the guy, especially with the young bucks. But anyway, we're not talking about that today. Jerry's favorite crew.
The Bucks of Youth.
It's the Bucks of Youth. So, yeah, we got that it was crazy. So, yeah, thanks so much, Ryan. I appreciate you coming on and giving us that shout out. So, I wanted just to make that very clear. Man, it was funny at first, and then I was just like going, okay, guys, you're having a painful transition to get to the other thing. And then, they brought it back. But I'm happy they got the belts because R-Truth, I feel like Miz and R-Truth are not going to hold the belts on long. Somebody else is going to win them. And then, so we got DIY, we got New Day, and we got the Creed brothers. So it was DIY comes out first. Then we got the Creeds. Then New Day comes out. And we see the most unique looking little graphic that they have put up so far. So Jerry, I'm going to let you get to that because we were trying to figure out what the heck.
Oh, you're talking about the graphic for that.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Because basically, I will say before Jerry does, Matt Hardy kind of put it all on his.
And see, I didn't see that.
I just saw that before we went live. I was like,
I found it on Facebook, on somebody's Facebook.
We got to talk about this because this Bray Wyatt thing or Taylor thing,
the Wyatt,
the Wyatt. So we're going to just say Wyatt. This thing is becoming more intriguing every day they passes by. So what did both y'all think? So
like it kind of reminds me when Bray first came back with the little Into the Rabbit Hole videos they did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see how Bo, Tyler, whatever you want to call him, plays it out. That's actually in one of my notes is about Rowan.
Yes.
I'm hoping that it is a contract with WWE just to see how this plays out. Because to me, in my eyes, I think it would be perfect for, Rowan, Strowman, Bliss, and Matt. If Matt comes in, that's great too. I mean, Matt, they tagged for a little bit. They were tag champions. And then of course Alexa. And I'm kind of interested to see if they're all going to be like their old gimmicks to where, like Rowan's the white sheep, Strowman's the black sheep, whatnot. But I'm kind of interested to see what Bo does with this. If he's going to stay as Uncle Howdy or if he's going to transform into something else.
What do you say, Darius?
To Jerry's point, I'm kind of intrigued of what happens there. Do we see the transition from Uncle Howard to something else? Because all of it is intriguing. To me, I love with the Easter eggs. It was I loved it, and like I said, I finally last weekend I finally sat down and watched the documentary. They did, and it took me weeks to watch because I really
did. You cry?
Yes, I did.
We all did. I have not met one person that said they couldn't.
Shauna didn't cry.
Oh,
it was especially hard, like 15, 20 minutes. It was like I had to literally pause it and had to get up and because because to me it was just the genius, and it was like to be loved the way that the way his character was loved across the world, and the way it resonated with people, and that's how a character should be.
Yeah,
it resonated beyond, and people dressing up as it, and then they showed what he was working on, and that just I lost it.
Yeah,
because I'm like, that'd have been so cool if he would have came back, because it was kind of like it was a different iteration of it, and it was even better than, and that's saying a lot. It was better than what the original was. So
I wish I had half the mind that Wyndham had.
Yeah, it's
for a character. Like you said, the genius, and I mean the way he was loved. The only other person I can think of that was loved like that with that style of character was Taker.
Yeah.
That's literally what it makes me think about.
Yeah.
Is the way everybody loved Taker, even though he was that dark person.
Yeah.
Well, not just that. All right, so big question here, or here's a question, and I'm just throwing it out there. Should have Bray been the guy that beats Taker?
Yes.
I say yes, too.
And if
not Brock, not Roman, it should have been Bray.
So, and this has always been my thing. Brock should have never beat him to begin with. If anybody was going to beat him outside of Bray, now that we're talking about Bray, it should have been Kane.
Yeah.
But like you said, Bray, as far as passing the torch as that demonic entity in WWE, it should have been Bray.
I got to tell you guys, after watching the Bray Wyatt thing, I had tears. It is hard because we all want to be the guy that people just like, or at least just appreciate and know, man, everything that man did, everyone loved. Yeah. I mean, I want to smack Vince because so many bad things that he did with him. But man, Bray just would come up, and just the mind, and I've always thought, guys that have that kind of mind, hard to sleep, hard to shut your mind off because you've got so many. Jerry, we talk. I mean, we can rattle off ideas, plans that we have, and it's just like we just go, there's got to be a way to get it out. Yeah. I mean, and that's what we try to do, and it's like that's why I love Jerry so much. By the way, y'all, when you say about the creative, you're creative, bro. You are. Now, as far as Bray, or if we had Bray Wyatt money, or we were able to hang out with a guy that can do the stuff that we always wanted, oh shoot, trust me, we would have fun. But but no, for real. But what you said, and the last outfit of the Fiend, and the thoughts that they put into everything,
all the little innuendos.
Yeah. Oh, I kind of hope that if Howdy comes back, there's a way he becomes the Fiend again. That he's the Fiend now.
I could see
or
that.
Something.
His own style. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Because that look is just chef's kiss. It really was. That artist, that guy, I wish I wrote his name down if we were going to talk about him.
Yeah.
But he is just phenomenal. I love it. Even to the point where Bray lets him be the Fiend in his return. That was just so. Yeah,
and that made perfect sense.
Oh, yeah. It did. It was so good. It really was. I mean, it's like, I wish I could go back in time and tell myself, look at what he's doing. Appreciate every little thing he's doing. It makes sense. from the Cape Fear feel that he was giving off, even all the way down to when his last promo. But I mean, it's like I said, I am excited about all these things. Also, watching that triple threat match, DIY gets the win. It'll tie into our main event, but I'm feeling that someone turned on somebody. I'm wondering if maybe the Creeds need to follow suit, because people are like, they don't get over. Well, I'm like, you should have started them off like you did when they first arrived as heels.
Yeah.
You don't show them as white because you had too many white meat baby faces. You got to grind them up somehow. And I know people love Julius Creed, but both of them are better as tag teams right now.
Yeah, and I mean, I wasn't a fan of theirs really in NXT.
Yeah.
And a lot of that has to do with their finisher, and that's just because I don't see that being safe. And again, that's coming from a wrestling standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Just too much can go wrong like that. Because, I mean, the dude's basically doing a cannonball into somebody. You're going to land on somebody's face.
Yeah. Up to the face.
Yeah, and you're going to fracture someone's skull or worse. Outside of that, as far as their work, they're good. I mean, they're not bad as far as wrestling, in-ring competition. I just don't think they're quite ready to be off by themselves as a tag team. They need that mentor style without being overdone, like Kurt Angle or whatever.
That's why because it's hard because
Yeah, it's
Go
hard.
ahead, Ladarius. Go ahead, Ladarius, because I'm gonna just break the fourth wall.
Yeah, I don't know how to, but I do want to go back to Jerry's point about the Creed. I like them, but something's missing, and it's clearly apparent. And sometimes when you make the transition from NXT to the main roster, one of the things that I've always said that you have to have the character you have to have it down. It doesn't have to be perfect, but have it down to the point where you're worried about small pieces and not like bigger pieces.
Right.
And to me, one of the better examples I thought of was Roxanne Perez, because the Roxanne Perez character, like the debate, I'm like, I like it, but she has to go heel. I felt like and then now you look at her now, she I think more than likely she's going to be on the main roster when the draft comes. And I kind of feel like with the Creeds, I felt like sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because when I look at the Creeds, I feel like, but in this case, I just, like I said, the finisher, yeah, it's great, but to your point, it looks dangerous. And imagine being told, hey, by the way, you have to take that. And you're looking at like,
and I've taken something similar to that, and it sucks.
and I can imagine being, if whoever in the Triple H was like, oh, by the way, you have to take that. And it looks dangerous. Like me just watching it, just sitting, watching it looks dangerous. So I don't know.
He did it a while back on, I think, Ciampa, and almost landed on his face.
Yeah, I saw that, and I went. That's what made me think. I'm like, imagine like all it takes is like a millisecond. All it takes is a slight little movement from things looking super good to super bad, and I don't want that. I don't want anybody to be on the receiving end of that.
No,
I don't care, heel, face. I don't care. I don't want anybody to kind of take that injury. But
and not only that, those guys could come up with a different finisher. It's not that hard. He could come up with something. You don't have to keep doing that. Real quick, I wanted to show this picture because I found something. I wish I could show it because my freaking thing. There we go. I'm trying to get it.
Got a glimpse of it. It's Bray and Hardy.
Matt Hardy posted that. It was the bird with the symbol engulfed with. I'm going to tell you, I'm not. It's like if you're telling me the Hardy Boys come back, I'm going to look at you and go, no.
I mean,
Jared, come on, Jared. They old. But hold on, let me finish. I don't want the Hardys back. But if you're telling me Matt, who kind of is as twisted as Bray was, now you got my attention, and I could see Matt doing well.
So hear me out
with this. If he was within this thing.
Hear me out.
Okay, go ahead, because I know you're my Hardy Mark. Party.
Bring Jeff in with him, but not working.
Okay.
I mean, we see that he's slowing down.
He is.
He's not the Jeff that was in WWE years ago. But have Jeff come back as, Nero, Willow, something, that darker side of Jeff.
Yeah.
And I mean, just be a manager.
I mean, like I said, man, that's why I keep saying the Wyatt thing. This thing is going to be. I just feel like we're going to see something that we've never seen before.
Right.
They're doing something, and it's just really capturing my attention. So back to the Creeds, it's like this. I think people got it, like excited with like some of the moves, especially what Julius can do. But it's almost like it's a highlight reel versus what you can tell in the story. I would love for them to be with Chad, and this is where I would involve a legend or two, or at least one.
Right.
I'd actually call Kurt.
Yeah.
And be like, Kurt, can you work with him? Kurt and Chad both kind of doing like some kind of mentorship with these guys would be huge.
And I mean, I don't think they need a lot of work.
No.
It's like fine tuning. It's not like nothing overly dramatic. Like I said, it's like small pieces. It's not like big things, like just little nuanced kind of things.
I don't think it's which don't get me wrong, I think they did amazing in NXT, and I think they do great in NXT now. But it's not like they need to go back to NXT.
Yeah. No. There's no need for them to do that. So DIY wins the triple threat, and I think that's the best route to go. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to do an interference angle because it's next week. But it wouldn't surprise me if we can, scoot those belts over to Ciampa and Gargano, because I really want them to have the belts, honestly.
I mean, I don't expect Truth and Miz to keep them long.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I was just expecting, Miz or Truth to have his moment.
Yeah.
And I think that's all that was.
And look, Zack Ryder and Myers, they had a moment, and then it went to, they lost that, I think, the next night or something. The tag belts when they beat FTR. So, or a Revival. So, all right. Well, then Drew's watching TV. Apparently, he's watching CM Punk. I mean, Drew, you could have watched Wednesday night, too. He was there, too. Anyway, so CM Punk costing him the title. And, God bless the interviewer. She's like, I wasn't expecting this reaction. Man kicks the TV. And I swore I heard Pat go, was that real glass? I'm like, can someone tell Pat to shut up, please, for my life? So that sometimes, no, don't. I wish I was sitting next to Hunter going, you going to let him do that?
Right.
So we found, and then now they do a tag match. We had Indy and Candace versus the dancing chicks, or not the dancing chicks.
Caden and
Caden. No.
Yeah,
Ivory and the shoes.
Ivy and
you're talking about Maxine Dupree and
Maxine Dupree. Okay, so they did a tag match, and Candace is getting beat down. Indy cheats, basically. That's the match. So, and then we go back. We're going to go into Judgment Day. Priest is reading the room, kind of like how Jerry does, and then Jerry tells everyone what to do. So that's basically what Priest did. He's like, all right, you're going to go out there and beat Andrade. We all know he ain't going to do that. But anyway, you're going to go back him up. And you're going to go beat up Jey Uso. Ha! And then Finn's like, yo, bro, can we get the tag belts? Huh? What are you talking about? I got a belt. I don't care about you. That would have been awesome if you said that. But I like how he's said it. Just before that, they played a video of Priest being kind of face. So I don't know what to think of that. But what did you guys think of that whole interaction? or basically what I just went over. We had Drew kicking the TV over, not saying much, which is great sometimes. You got the whole thing with Indy and Candice, and then you got the whole Judgment Day. So what are your thoughts? And also, if you want to talk about Andrade versus Dominic. Go ahead, Ladarius.
Okay, I guess I'll take the baton.
Yes, I'm giving you the baton.
I'll take the baton. To start with Drew, look, Drew, what we're getting from Drew in terms of just pure promo work cannot be overstated just how it's 11 out of 10, no notes. Like I say, sometimes less is always more from Drew. You know, when he cuts like these 30, like the video, whatever, it resonates through so hard, especially with, with CM Punk. So I love that moment with you kicking the TV over. As far as with Indy and Kiss, they're interesting because if you notice, Indy the last couple of tag team matches, she was kind of against the cheating. She was like, she always had like a look on her face, like I don't think we should, trying to do things the right way. And when we saw what happened on Raw, it's like I think it shows that Candice's influence, maybe it's coming around to Indy. Right. It's like, hey, you got to do what you got to do and make it do what it do in that regard. And in terms of Priest, like it definitely gave off, base vibes. But I think now with Rhea out of the, unfortunately out of the picture, Priest kind of asserts his role as the leader of the Judgment Day. And he was just barking the way he was barking. I'm like, my guy's just telling you what to do, you what to do, you what to do. I'm just surprised he didn't say, hey, somebody get me a sandwich. I'm surprised he didn't say that line because the way he was just barking orders everybody.
Also, green M&Ms.
If they're out of red, get green. If they have green, get red. What? Just do it. And so I kind of liked it that. And as far as Andrade versus Dominic, listen, I've always been high on Andrade, and that he came back because, like I said, former United States. I think there's big things in Andrade's future, in my opinion. And with Dominic, Dominic was Dominic, and like I say, the fact that he can still get. In terms of what we talk about Rhea getting like that, the cheers, Dominic gets those boos. And to me, I always compare if you watch like Showtime at the Apollo, like with booing, like that's what I feel with like it's just like straight boos. Like he doesn't even have to say, he can say the sky is blue, boo. It doesn't matter what comes out of his mouth. No one's gonna, and I still think that kind of works. The match, solid match there in that regard. But I think. One of the to kind of circle back, like with Priest, I'm very curious to see how his reign goes. I really do because people once again, the way people kind of went after Cody and my guy hasn't defended the belt yet. My guy hasn't said like what are we going and like with Dave let things simmer, like you just don't like let it percolate like coffee. You just don't take coffee, just throw it. Oh, let me just throw it in here, and then no, you gotta let it percolate. I'm not a coffee guy by any stretch.
You're saying it perfectly. You're saying it perfectly. Keep it going.
And so, like I say, not a coffee guy, but I understand like the importance of letting things simmer, let it percolate. Let that with Damian, because we have to understand how big of a deal it was at WrestleMania 40 for him in that transition. So I just think overall, in terms of all of that. I would love to keep my eye on Indy and Candice because we got to understand, like, no one's really talking about the women's tag team titles. Mm-hmm. Like, it's never been a real topic of discussion. I could make a case. I could think of like 3 teams. Like, first I think of them. I think of when you pairing Jade with Bianca, which I think that team's going to be very good. Yeah. And even with Maxine and with Ivy, there's something there. I don't know. I felt like with Maxine, I think her being in a tag team with somebody like Ivy Nile, she's only going to get better.
Yeah.
And so that to me, just picking at that Candice and Indy's like, well, if Indy's coming around, there's something there. Because for a while she was very resistant. And now she's coming around the way they won that match. I'm like, we got to remember, like I say, people go, who's the tag team champ? Like, it's the Kabuki Warriors. I'm like, you're like, but you wouldn't know because they haven't.
I didn't know.
Because if you ask me, I can't think of the last time they defended them. They defended the belt. It's not being, I don't remember because it's not featured. Which hopefully that will change We get Jaden, Bianca, we getting Candace, and so I kind of feel that's where we're kind of seeing these tag teams, like Caden Carter. I think that's why we're seeing more of these women's tag teams now being showcased because we need contenders.
Yeah.
So I think that's something to kind of be on the lookout for as well.
So with the Priest video, to me, Rhea's out. Rhea was in that group. Rhea was the fan favorite.
Yes,
she was a champion. All that good stuff. I think they're gonna try to have Priest fill that role. In my opinion. Hold on one second. I gotta respond to this. But to me, that's what they're trying to do with that video. Trying to let you see that softer side of Priest. Yeah. I mean, coming in, Priest was face. He wasn't a heel.
Yeah,
he was face. As far as him, trying to take over the lead role, the boss. Honestly, I don't think that's going to turn out very well. Because he just doesn't come off as a boss. Out of that group, the only one that stands out as a boss outside of Rhea is Finn.
Mm-hmm.
Finn's been that leader. He's of a group. He's Bullet Club or whatever. With Drew, like you said, Drew's doing some of his best promo work ever right now.
Yep.
With the Candace and Indy thing, I was honestly expecting Candace to turn on Indy.
Mm-hmm.
And Indy not come around.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad that she's coming around, and there's still that connection from the back in the NXT, the way, and all that good stuff. Dominic and Andrade, like you said, Andrade's amazing. Always has been, in my opinion. Now, I will give credit to Dominic, which I know a lot of it had to do with Andrade, too.
Yes.
That Canadian Destroyer on the freaking apron.
Thank you.
Oh, my God. That scared me.
Really?
Yes. Because Andrade's head hit.
That's why I'm surprised.
Andrade's head hit the apron.
Mm-hmm.
Andrade
ain't all there, but yeah. Just
now, do I think pairing him with Dominic was the best play? No. Because I don't think Dominic can keep up with him.
Do you think though that Andrade not just has that relationship with Ray, but he has that same relationship with Dominic?
Right.
And,
yeah.
And not only that, Dominic, and not just maybe. Andrade's like, look, kid, don't worry. We're going to get through.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have no doubt that Andrade can pull a good match out of Dominic. Mm-hmm. That's not in question.
Dominic's actually been better than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, he's gotten a lot better than when he first came in, for sure. But as far as if you want to put Andrade against another Lucha, just put him on SmackDown and let him fight Escobar. Honestly,
that would be a good match.
That's gonna be your best turnout right there.
Can we say just lock it up and let them just go?
Right, that's gonna be amazing. Look at Escobar's work in Lucha and AAA and all that good stuff. I mean, he's amazing. He's good.
He is. He's very good. I mean, he's one of those guys that you could say is, I hate to say underrated, but yeah, he is.
He is.
One of those.
And, I mean, so is Andrade.
Yeah. Both of them are.
A lot of people overlook Andrade, but Andrade is good. So what was the other one?
And then we had the Drew, we had that and then I mean, if you want to say something about the squash match, but it wasn't even a minute. I mean, I will say this: Chelsea Green, she makes her.
Who'd she get squashed by this time?
No. Her and Piper beat the dancing chicks, the nightclub.
Oh, they beat up Caden and Casey. Okay.
Yeah. They're the ones that beat them up.
I was probably in and out of sleep at that point. I mean, Caden and Casey are I love them. Mm-hmm. I've liked them since they started tagging. I hate that they changed her name.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Because her name is recognized as far as, Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
And that pulled a lot of people in, I think. As far as sticking them with Chelsea, I mean, nothing against Chelsea. To me, I like Chelsea. I think she's pretty good as far as in ring and mic work goes. And Piper's Piper.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Piper working as what was it, Vixen or Viper?
Dude,
Whatever
drop.
she was. No. Oh,
No, but
Indies. Indies.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
Niven, the Viper.
Viper.
Viper, Vixen, Viper, something,
yeah.
Now her matches back then over in Europe, they were amazing. So I think if they'd let her get in and be singles competitor and let her work, she could be a champion.
Not only that, you could still have Chelsea there as her manager.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the chicken shit heel, and then when she messes, ticks people off, here comes Piper.
I mean, they could still be in a group together.
Yeah,
just don't have them tag.
No, I'm with you totally. All right, so this is how we're going to go because somebody didn't get the whole 9411 here. So give me a second. I got to go through my notes. My notes going to read out here. Okay, this is my cheat form. Thank you, StreamYard, for making this into a ticker by accident. You weren't supposed to, but you did. So I love being able to, call people out on that. We had basically we're going to go over the last hour in this Cody Rhodes. This is where we're going to discuss because people don't know how to let a coffee percolate. We are living in the, minute rice. Why is it not done in a minute? Error. And then we're going to talk about Jay versus Finn. And then we're going to talk about not just that, but the main event, which was Sami Zayn, which had the most incredible entrance ever. As well as, or Jay had the best exit versus Sami versus had the best intro. And then, man, what a match. I thought for the time they had, I thought Sami and Chad did a great job. And then the heel angle at the end, the heel turn that somebody missed. I'm not naming any names.
I fell asleep during the Finn and Jay match.
Yeah, Mr. Sandman.
I had to adult this morning.
Huh? Yeah, I knew it wasn't me, so I was like, "Oh, I hope it's not Jerry."
It's me. I had to be an adult today.
I wouldn't do that to you, Ladarius. We are boys. we're trying to get Jerry to be a part of this.
I don't know. I heel turn. It happens. Yeah. It
I mean, I just turned face. Okay, I can't turn heel again.
Yeah. You hold on. When it comes to heel,
I don't want to go back to tagging with my brother.
I am trying to be nice. I was not bringing that one up. Okay, Mr. Lone Wolf. Mr. Lone Wolf that needs a partner, which cracks me up.
I don't need a partner.
I know you don't. But anyway, all right, now that we just done really threw everyone off on our show, thank you for coming back. So I'll just lead off. The biggest thing now is people not understanding because apparently, I guess they thought, all right, Cody's the champ. We need to go on a 1,000-mile-per-hour ride to, entertain us. And I'm going, he just got the belt. First of all, did you not see that tag match where he got whipped with the belt? He did go through some stuff. Then he had that match with Roman. So I understand slow play, but also he's showing up to every show. And I think that's also the other thing that people are like, well, you say the same thing. And it's like, what's he supposed to do? Because you have what we call, the draft coming up. You've already set up a contenders match. And then basically he showed up to say goodbye to Raw. He's going to be with SmackDown. And then basically, thanking Seth, thanking Jay. He didn't get to do that the first go round, and then, Friday night he did the open mic bitch, which I loved. But I mean, I'd personally say I can't really get mad about anything until we see him and AJ or him and LA.
Right.
So the criticism's fair, foul. What do y'all think?
I mean, I agree. Like, you can't really, because he had 2 hellacious matches Saturday and Sunday for Mania.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been 2 weeks. I mean, yeah. Would you like to see him work? Sure. I mean, he's a champion. Sure. You want to see a champion work every show or every other show.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. But look at Roman. Roman would go home for months.
Yeah.
Brock would go home for months and not show up at all. At least Cody's there.
And he's also wrestling dark matches too.
Right. And I'm sure, yeah. I mean, you got to stay in shape somehow.
Yeah.
And I mean, and not counting house shows, I'm sure he's working house shows too. But you just got to give it time. I mean, you don't expect Priest to automatically start working. Priest's next match isn't until what? Backlash?
Yeah.
Or next week?
Mm-hmm. And that, or yeah.
Whenever his match with Jay is.
And I believe Priest's match is on with Jay on Backlash, as well as
right.
You know,
and the same
Cody
thing. Priest won the title Saturday.
Yeah.
Same thing. You don't see people bitching about that. I think it's just more so that Cody finished his story. So why is he still cutting promos?
Yeah, or yeah. What do you think, Ladarius?
I think that's what everybody's complaining
about.
Yeah. You know, I think simply put is this: if we didn't learn nothing from the Bloodline storyline about patience, I don't know what to tell people. And then on that same line, look, like I said, we don't know what Cody's, like I say, dark matches, house shows, but to kind of like, we gotta understand. Okay, story's finished, but listen, we have to find out what the next and how we're gonna. It's like you want to speed read through the book and then complain about the book was boring.
Yeah.
So like, this book was boring. Well, did you take the time and read it, or were you trying to finish it to say that you finished it?
Yeah.
And so, to me, I the criticism is unwarranted because look, the same thing with Damian Priest. Like these guys just got the belts. We don't know the paths. We're going to watch just as much as. Listen, if you want like instantaneous stuff, then I can't help you because wrestling is always based. To me, that's why I always love storylines because whether it's long term, short term, you're letting things percolate. You're letting things simmer. Let Cody. We'll find out with Cody, with Damian. We're gonna find out. Let's just not sit back and get impatient because, like I said, if you didn't learn anything from the Bloodline storm, if you didn't kind of learn anything, even with Bayley and the damage, if you didn't learn about long-term storytelling or just thinking long-term and wanting instant results, then I don't know what to say because here's the thing. With Cody, everyone wants to know the next chapter, and I get it. But to me, it reminds me of the great line he was in the ring with Jay. And as he was leaving the ring, and he said, "Oh, one more thing." And I said this line belonged in the movie. He said, "Until we yeet again." I don't know. To me, I was like, that belong. I don't know what movie. I don't know who we call Spielberg, Spike. I don't know who we call for that. But to me, we're going to get something there, I feel, at some point in a one-on-one situation. We just have to let things take time. And I think there is a contingency of wrestling fans who understand patience, who understand letting the story be told. It's going to take time. And you have those who just want to basically take a bag of popcorn, treat like a bag of popcorn, press the popcorn button, and wants it instantaneous. And that to me, it ruins a lot of stuff. And then we wonder why sometimes some things don't pan out. It's because, well, guess what? You weren't patient. Right. Because you just wanted, just like this. And you wonder why. Imagine if the Bloodline, what if the storyline played out over a whole year instead of 3 to 4? We wouldn't have gotten the same thing. We wouldn't have gotten the same kind of results. And that to me, it preaches patience. And I just wish for those who understand, it's like, I understand that, listen, there will be moments being a wrestling fan, it's gonna suck, like, but that's the beauty of wrestling to me, is telling the story. Let the story be told. Because, like I said, to me, one of my, outside of the Bloodline storyline, I love the Bayley storyline. Because a part of me sensed that, they're gonna turn, how are they gonna do it? How are they gonna make the conversion? That to me kept me, because they dropped like little seeds. I talked about this on the WrestleMania 40 recap I did. It's like, and in the preview as well, it's like they're good. They drop seeds to kind of let you know it's going to happen. But the beauty is you just don't know when it's going to happen, and that's what makes it magical. Oh, it's going to happen this night or that night. No, it happened exactly when it should have happened.
Right. I mean, it's just like signing somebody new. It's the same thing. Like, you know it's going to happen. You know they're going to show up, but when?
Right. Exactly. And I think with the whole thing with Cody and Damian, it's just people understand. Just be patient. Let them write their story, and just go along for the ride. Like I said, if you didn't learn nothing from the Bloodline storyline, I can't help you, because if you just couldn't just jump on and go, oh, wait. There were people like, oh, this storyline should end. I'm like, no, because there's more to be told. You have to be patient. And then we got that kind of second chapter on SmackDown. So it's just about patience, letting us see how things play out. So hopefully fans understand that's what you got to do with Cody and with Damian. Let them figure it out. Let them defend the belts, for goodness sakes, and then we can
at least have one title shot.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hear adrenaline. Let's hear adrenaline. Let's hear that. You going toward the ring and in his tights. Let's hear Damian Priest come out to Judgment Day music. Let them get in the ropes and fight somebody, and then we can have a conversation. Other than that, let's just be patient and see where it goes.
And that's the problem with today's wrestling fans, is they're so used to 90 miles an hour flips and oh, I want a title shot. Here you go.
Yeah.
And they're not used to the Attitude Era, the early 2000s, the storyline building months in advance, hell, years in advance as the Bloodline. And they're just not used to that anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like
1,000%.
Like personally, like me, like I've been tagging with my brother for the past year and a half, 2 years.
Yep.
And up until 2 months ago, we did the turn. And we're building up for the next 3 months. And I mean, people just aren't used to doing that anymore on bigger shows like WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, TNA, whatever you want to call it. But these people that go to the indie shows, and they're still used to that build up. So,
if you haven't followed GD from NY, JD from New York, go on his Twitters at JD from NY206. I want to put him out there because he what we're talking about right now. Cody Rhodes doesn't know how to hold the title. WWE fans are turning on him. His title run is already boring. His promos feel the same. There's a fucking draft in 2 weeks. What do you want him to do until then? Jesus Christ, help us. This is, but this is why I say, man, when you got fans, they lose their minds. And Jerry knows this as well as everyone else does. And Ladarius, you know, it's like, that's why I said like the popcorn society, it's not popping fast enough. It's like, dude,
right.
Take it easy.
Let shit register.
I mean, and not only that, like someone says, well, Cody doesn't know how to hold a belt. If you're looking at Cody, someone did some shots. He's holding it like Ric Flair.
Well, I mean, it's not
because they haven't seen that before, though.
Right.
But you haven't even seen the champion on Raw.
Right. But you say he doesn't know how to hold a belt. How many times has he been a champion?
Yeah.
Whether it's a heavyweight champion or a mid-card champion. He knows how to hold a belt. You're just not used to the way he's holding it.
Yeah, and exactly, Jerry, because you remember those days when we watched wrestling when younger and everything. You saw how champions would hold the belt. They would always hold the belt like that. Like
look at Nick Aldis in NWA when he was an NWA champion.
Perfect example. Of someone doing it during the 2020. He always held the NWA title the same way. Never. So it's like, I'm with you guys. You can't get all mad about, well, his promos sound like I said, the first one, that's his big one. Second one, okay, he's commenting about The Rock and comment about the guys he's about to face or about to battle to face him.
Adam, it's no different than Ric Flair saying the same thing for 30, 40 years.
How many times do we have to hear Hulk Hogan go, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and
brother.
Yeah, or brother. Yeah. I mean, come on.
Let me tell you something, brother. I'm like,
John Cena, same thing.
Hustle,
Rock,
loyalty, and
Stone
respect.
Cold even.
The Rock, Stone Cold.
Like Stone Cold had a rivalry with Vince McMahon, and no one understood it until and they're like, "Well, this won't get over." Becomes the biggest thing that saves WWE.
Yeah.
So relax, fans. Please don't be stupid. All right.
Breath.
Yeah, my favorite one is, Seth was more entertaining. Y'all, we could pull numbers here. Y'all said the same thing about Seth. So I love. It's like this. I like the title reign. I like that he thanked Seth. I like that he thanked Jey Uso.
Right.
When you have thanked those guys, that now closes that chapter of I've done everything I can here at Raw. I must go away on my spaceship. Yeet away. Yeah. And that was the whole thing. I will, we will till we yeet again, and then yeeted on himself.
I don't like when you say the draft. Who knows? Cody may come back to Raw.
Oh yeah,
I doubt it because I don't see them splitting Judgment Day up right now, unless they transfer the whole Judgment Day.
I was about to say I could see them transferring the belts, but I think that would happen next year,
right?
Because of the new TV deals.
But if they draft them, I don't see like Cody going over to Raw and Priest going over to SmackDown by himself. But I mean, who knows? You know how that goes.
All right, well, let's talk about it, man. So we got Jey Uso versus Finn Balor. By the way, Nia did a really good like I said, Nia Jax.
That promo wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad. What I was going to say was she's not. I truly believe she's turned that corner, and it's like understanding the role and also just, I guess, feeling more comfortable in the roster.
Right.
Because, look at her.
Coming in, look at the family she had to live up to.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that had a lot to do with her earlier years in WWE.
Yeah.
Up until she, got let go. And like you said, coming back now, she's found something, whether it's confidence or whatever. And she's doing a lot better. Like, to my knowledge, she hasn't hurt anybody.
No, I don't. I haven't seen that either. And not with that, you put her in the main event.
Promos are getting better. Yeah, promos are getting better. You put her in the main event with Rhea. She must be doing something right.
Yeah, and she didn't do bad. Like I said, I wasn't going to say she's like a 5-star, which I swear to God, we need to stop saying stars now because I'm fed up every time I hear Dave Meltzer. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, that's the only star we'll talk about because he was entertaining. Damn it, I don't care what anyone said. I love Stardust. But so let's just talk about it. So Jey versus Finn. At the end of the match, Finn basically Jey beats Finn. Jay's distracted by Damian. Why not would you be distracted? That's the big tall mother effer, and he's got the belt. Well, Judgment Day attacks him, and this is where I got confused because in the Raw speech we got, I want you to soften him up. I want you to teach him what a loss is. But then all of a sudden, as we're beating down Jay, Priest, you're gonna throw a boot in or something?
Right.
It doesn't do nothing, and it's like I want to go. This isn't good. I don't like this.
Their whole group mentality is a group mentality.
Yeah, it's a pack mentality.
At least it has been.
Yeah. So it's like all of a sudden, like what changed from the Raw to now?
Right.
And so I'm going to let you guys run with it. But the match itself was very good. You got to take some time to watch because Jay and Finn had some really good chemistry. But yeah, the Jay won with a spear and a splash, I believe, too.
Okay. Well, like I said, I fell asleep during that match, so I didn't see all of it. I saw some of it. But like you said, I didn't know about them jumping him. What's the point of Priest not joining in on them jumping him? If you want him softened up and beaten down, wouldn't you want to help them soften up and beat them down?
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know.
Hold on, Jerry. In a faction, if you told guys around you, I want you to soften him up, They are.
I mean,
their opponent.
When I told my group to do that, we beat the fuck out of you. Black card.
I love that group. That was so much fun. You know that. But we got to work together quite a bit. So Darius, what do you think about that?
Look, I mean, to me, you can't talk out of one side of your mouth and then go out there and it feels like, and then, not back up essentially what you said. That to me was the takeaway. And to me, I already had questions about Judgment Day post WrestleMania. Like I said, unfortunately,
Yeah, you did. I remember you. You were very vocal about it.
And even with Rhea, now with Rhea out of the picture, now I'm having even more questions because now there seems to be, I don't want to say there's a rift because a part of me kind of feels that I don't know if someone's going to get kicked out. I don't know if there's going to be a turn of some sort, but what I saw Monday did not do Finn Balor any favors. It didn't do Judgment Day any favors. It didn't do anybody any favors, especially after that speech. It's like a coach saying, hey, we're going to go out there and win, and you're down 7 and you're going to punt the football. That's the equivalent of what happened.
Arthur Smith! Anyway.
Yeah. Basically, Arthur Smith was in there writing the promo for Damien. I said, oh, no, it's okay. You can punt it on 4th down. What, 4th and inches? Yeah, you can punt that. But we're down 7. Yeah, you can punt it. But
they won't expect it.
Yeah, but it's on the opposing side of the field. Yeah, punt it. Yeah.
Be all right.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Exactly.
Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. It's gonna be fine. And I think that's what we got out there. So I don't know what's going on with the dynamic with Judgment Day, but that's, to me, now with Rhea out, now I'm having more questions on. To me, if someone had to go, like Dominic Mysterio seems to be on the top of the list if they do decide to go that route. I'm not saying that they do, but now I'm just curious to see what happens now, because like I said, you can't preach, oh, we're going to soften them up, and then you're literally out there. You're not in the back.
Yeah.
You're not drinking a Pepsi. You're not in catering. You're not in the gorilla position. You're literally right there, and all of a sudden, you're just there doing nothing. So you could have just stayed in the back. You could have stayed in gorilla. I don't care where you would have went, but it would have been way better than you just staying up there and just preaching, doing this and doing that, and then you do absolutely nothing. So that, to me, it was a nuanced thing, but it's a huge nuanced issue that kind of should create doubt in the mind of Judgment Day, which, like I say, no Rhea. Now there's more doubt going on.
Yeah, I mean,
So, Jerry.
you talk about somebody getting kicked out.
Yeah,
I would say Dominic or JD, but I don't see JD going anywhere.
Yeah,
unless Finn goes somewhere.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would say kick Dom out, send him to SmackDown, and have him team up with Santos and his group. I mean, and there, possibly there's your War Games match for this year, LWO versus Phantasma.
You know what the War Games is going to be this year, right?
I know.
Yeah, it's going to be the battle.
Oh, I know. I know, but I'm just
saying. Civil War. You know that.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying there's a possible War Game style match.
We can have 2 War Game matches.
Yeah, but I'm hoping somehow Cody gets into the Bloodline team, because that would be freaking hilarious. That would be hilarious because I could see it somehow working.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, Jay looking, going, you want me, you got to bring him in. And Cody pops up, so just saying, it would be cool.
Adrenaline
in my toes.
What's that?
Man, Damian Priest. All I got to say is this. Let's not do that again. You can be the leader, but you can't say, soften a man up. Yeah, go ahead, Jerry. Soften a man up, and then turn around and go, I don't want to hurt him. Bro, you're a heel.
Right. What are you supposed to be exactly? Like, do you not know what you're supposed to be? Like,
Ladarius, all I gotta ask is, when did we get the conflicted feelings here?
It must have been between the time he left the locker room,
yeah,
and then when he went to Gorilla, he thought about it,
yeah,
and then he walked down the ramp, and he was like, "I'm
Has
still
some water,
not sure."
probably,
yeah,
maybe.
He didn't have water. He probably had a soda, which is not I'm not anti-soda, but listen, you got to stay hydrated out there.
Yeah, you do.
So they have water in Canada. They have Niagara Falls is right there. So no excuse on the lack of water. So and all of a sudden he gets to the ring. He gets kind of there, and then he kind of goes, and then he just goes.
Maybe he likes to eat music.
It's catchy. Hey, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like, hey, is this how you guys do it? No.
Exactly. What was he going?
Like, is it like this? Is it like that?
So
is it like this?
Yeah.
Is it like no? Wait. No, I got it, guys. It's like this. No.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, dude, don't do that again. But so we go from there. Now, here's the cool part. So Jay gets out, goes through the crowd. Now, Jerry, you missed this because this was actually really cool. Jay's going up the stairs, all right? And, sometimes, how it goes, the champ with the belt, and Priest still does that, so thank God, But Jay keeps going upstairs, and there's a camera waiting on him. And they follow him going out of the building. Even push the guy out of the way because he was trying to do a selfie. People, you need to stop that, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
like a wrestler in an area.
I forget if it was Raw or SmackDown. I think it was Raw. And I think it was Seth, and the fan was like right here.
Yeah. And it's like literally, yeah. And
like,
someone put a picture up on it, and you could literally see.
I'm like
it wasn't even
I'm
that
sorry.
far.
You stick your phone in my face, and I'm punching you in the fucking face.
He will.
I'm sorry. I'm getting a lawsuit.
I mean, it was Seth, so he could probably get away with it. But I like that security guard got it to him. But yeah, it's like, people, don't try to do the selfie crap. Stop. Enjoy the show. That's really what you should do. All right.
I'm sorry. Jump barricades.
Yeah, but my thing is this. Yeah, jump off. You would. You want them to so bad. Jerry's the guy next to that person. You want to jump over that barricade. Go for it. They won't do nothing to you.
It's going to be fun.
And then Jerry watches.
No, I'm going to be the one coming out of the back to whoop your ass.
Yeah. So my favorite thing, though, but what's cool is he's doing this travel, and it feels Grand Theft Auto. It feels like you're playing one of those games, and you're just seeing the guy going through the back. And he meets up with Sami Zayn, who's looking up in the sky. I guess he's looking for the hook signal. But I'd like a Big Mac with cheese. But yeah, and then he's like, "What you looking at, Ooze?" And they talk, and Sami does his thing, and Sami comes inside the building. And this is the part that really got me like really hyped. He looks at the camera and goes, "You want to see where the best fans are? Follow me." And he just takes the cameraman through the crowd. He does the thing with the trash can, which was hilarious. And then it's like he goes down the same stairs that Jimmy just, they play in the music. The crowd's singing. You're hearing the crowd. Someone gives him a Canadian flag, and he's just great. It is one of the most best entrances I've seen. WWE, what you call it? Triple H, I wish we got that guy's name because I'll have to look it up again. But this guy who's doing the video production, oh my God, that was a home run. Especially in Montreal. That crowd was lit. But to see the crowd, and then what's even crazier is as he's coming through the thing, the crowd is like, back like the old days, Jerry. You remember this when you get to touch the wrestler and everything. He's high-fiving, but he's coming through the crowd, and it just looked so epic the way the camera was following him. He goes through, and he runs right back up the stairs again just so he could do it again. And I'm just going, this is freaking awesome. Chad Gable comes out. This match, I got to say, reminds I hope they do more matches. I really do. I mean, not just because Chad really flows with Sammy well. The technician versus, just what Sammy is.
Yeah.
Sammy's that underdog fighter, but he can technically go too. But man, those two going back and forth, I thought was a fun match. I thought it went the way it needed to. They tried to do a sharpshooter. Sammy falls over because of the knee going out. He's selling the leg the whole time. Chad did everything he could to win it, the ankle lock. He finally loses. Sammy hits him with the Aluva kick, and if you've never seen Sami Zayn, folks, kind of looks like Jerry with longer hair and more successful, but they're just one of those. But
that's the right reaction, Jerry.
You got to understand, man. That's been a long time joke with us.
I've been getting that for a while.
That's always been our.
That's the correct.
Buddy Murphy. But see,
I've gotten that one too. I much rather Buddy Murphy.
Oh yes, you especially now.
Yeah.
You got someone to go home to now.
Hey, buddy, taking some time off? Yeah, I got to take some time off with the wife. Yeah,
Buddy's like, hold on. Tony Khan's like, we were just about to push you. Buddy's like, yeah, whatever.
I'm decorated. I'm good. I gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta paint the rooms. But no, the match was great. And then so Sammy beats him. Sammy does the honorable thing, raise his hand. They raise each other's hand, the hug. And he goes to his family. It's real nice. But one of the best parts that I loved is Chad Gable hooks him up for his German suplex as he's hugging his wife. It's like, baby, I love you. I wish someone would have put a video of Goofy going, Yahoo! Right behind Sammy as he got that was hilarious. And she's just looking at like, what just happened? You just yeeted my husband. I mean, and then he goes heel. I like it. I know people are kind of conflicted about Chad Gable. My thing is this. I don't think Chad was going to be because basically that character is Sammy. So it's like you got two of those. My thing, what I would do, you've already turned him heel, have him have a feud with Sammy for a bit, and then let's see Chad go to SmackDown with the Creeds. Let's make the new Angle team or Gable team faction, whatever, and let them go after the U.S. title. I would love it just because Logan could actually get the belt off Logan, although Logan's very impressive.
He's gotten better.
Oh, he has. I mean, I can't believe I've been championing him so much, but it's like I go, yeah, I kind of like what I see with him.
He's still a cocky shithead, but
oh yeah, he is. I mean, we don't need to like him. It's like this.
Oh, and I don't see him keeping the belt much longer, anyways, because he just announced that they were having a baby.
So. Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, so congratulations there, Logan. Now drop the belt. All right. So, what did y'all think about the main event? And also the entrance and everything? What I know, Jerry, you've actually seen that because everyone's been putting that out there. So, what do y'all think? So, we'll go with Ladarius.
Oh, I thought you had the swerve. I thought you would go to Jerry first. Okay. I think that heel turn's coming for C-Dub. But
I set everybody up. It was me, damn it.
He comes on the mat. First and foremost, I think I kind of talked about this earlier. I talked about the camera work. I talked about under this Triple H regime, just how great it's been, how it feels. It feels different, and then with that Sammy, it just felt. It felt, especially being in Montreal, and kind of the way they trained from Jay, and then they transitioned to Sammy, and then Sammy. They're looking up. I don't know what they're looking up at. McDonald's menu, getting a Royale with cheese. I don't know what they're looking at. So, and then just them panning back to the crowd and interacting with the crowd. It's that aura. You kind of got that feel. And so, and as for the match itself, listen, both the chemistry you could see early on in that match, and it just carried all the way through. Where sometimes it's very hard to kind of have that sort of chemistry. Like that, look, you just can't throw two guys in there or two. It's not Like people understand it's like you can't throw oil in with water. Like they're both liquids, but it doesn't mean it's going to be compatible with one another. And I think what we learned with this match is that both were oil and they were both the same thing and it worked, whatever it was. And what I loved the chat. I loved the heel turn simply because something had to be done. It's kind of like what I talked about with Roxanne Perez. Something was off. Like we love Roxanne the same way we love Chad Gable. But the underdog sort of story with Chad was kind of paralleling Sammy. Yep. So if anybody was going to make the change, it was going to be Chad. It was going to be Chad Gable. And then to your point, like to me, I don't know if they can still do Alpha Academy, maybe add the Creed brothers, maybe kind of do something there. I don't know what to do about Otis and Tozawa. I'm not in charge of that, so I don't know what you do with that. So, but I think overall you got something, a nice little feud going. Sammy gets a feud. Chad kind of gets Chad. It's just something about Chad Gable where it's just, how can I describe it? It's like I knew something was off, and I think when I saw him come back and almost do that, I'm like, holy crap! Like this is what we're talking about. To me, that was the appeal of Roxanne Perez. Is like there's a lot of faces like on NXT. She goes heel, and she just turns it up to 11, and then you get that. And so, but as far as this match, I'm curious to see, if when Sammy faces Chad, I don't know if it's going to be at Backlash again or when, but I would love to see these two back in the ring again because it was so good, and everything leading up to that match was so good. So, and I'm just curious to see, what where Chad goes from the heel point, kind of where does Alpha Academy kind of go from here? Because we talked about the Creed brothers. I'm like, listen, it's not the worst thing in the world to go heel. Because it can work in a room full of faces, someone has to be the heel.
Yeah.
So that's my 2.5 cents on.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, like, because I didn't see the match at all. I haven't seen anything about it, but the leading up videos, I did see those. Like that was perfect because like it was kind of the underdog teaching the underdog new tricks, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it led to Sammy getting the victory over Gunther. Yeah,
Walter.
God damn it! Anyways, he initially won the IC title, which is good. As far as turning Gable heel, I liked that because I'm kind of tired of Gable being the silly.
Yeah.
The silly coach, so to say.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Otis and Tozawa are funny. It's funny. It gets over. But either use Otis, do something with him. I don't care what. I mean, the dude can go.
Mm-hmm.
For a man his size, he can go.
Yeah.
And the same with Tozawa. Tozawa can go. So either ship them back to NXT, let them work. Let them show what they can do, or split them, leave one on Raw, one on SmackDown, and then ship Gable over, ship Creeds over, turn them like you said, and there's your new Alpha Academy. But if they do ship Gable over and the Creeds over, they don't need Tozawa and Otis. I don't think.
I think that Tozawa and Otis, that run, it's like this. If you have him connected with Chad, then he'll always look like the goof. Right. He needs a clean break. What I would propose, how they love doing the why, Chad, why, or whenever someone turns, as he's doing his origin story, and, talking, and then you have Otis and Tozawa actually come in and just go, what's going on, man?
Right.
This ain't you, doing that. Then you have the Creeds and him going, you know what? Y'all are nothing but jokes. And I'm sick of it. This is a new title. And I'm telling you right now, you don't fit the bill, Otis. Yeah. And then have the Creeds beat them up.
Yeah, there's another feud for you.
Yeah.
I mean, Tozawa and Otis versus Creeds.
Yeah. And that can help the creeds get over because, see, that's the thing. You need guys to be able to or develop your stuff. Well, when I saw them doing that training thing together, Chad and Brutus, I was like, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. This is what you should do. And basically all three getting aggravated for we have been here. We're getting passed over by, in these title matches, we're making our stand.
Yeah.
You could do that, and it actually would make sense. So,
and SmackDown doesn't have a lot of tag teams that I know.
Yeah.
As far as males,
yeah.
So that would be another 2 teams there. If you do want to ship both of them over with all 4 guys over with Chad, there goes another 2 more tag teams for your title picture. But I don't know. Because Tozawa is too much of a joke.
Yeah,
they've made him into that.
Yeah,
and I mean, compared to his 205 days, they've made him into a joke. And same with Otis. Otis got made into a joke once they stuck him with Mandy Rose.
If you could get Otis maybe alone for a little bit, just so he can just wrestle, and then someone come and get him to work with him, but no more joke guys. That's, I think, something WWE has to work on. I mean, you got R-Truth. You don't need any more. That's how I see it. But, I mean, Kevin Owens, he's Deadpool funny. So he does the, peek around the curtains. So, all right, guys. We're about to round this out. What were y'all's thoughts on Raw and overall? And then just know tomorrow or Saturday at 1 o'clock, we're going to do an open forum again, and we're going to have John Chuckery from 92.9 The Game. He's the Georgia Rattlesnake. He loves talking wrestling. WRASSLING. So I believe that's how it was spelled back in the old days, or when your brother was a young tot. But we're going to have him on. We'll definitely be talking WWE. We're definitely going to talk AEW and also the Jim Cornette stuff because he's a big fan of all that. So we're going to – and look, he's one of the really good guys, and he's unashamed to talk wrestling. So even on his show, people are like, well, you should be talking – he's like, it's my show. It's my name on the marquee. I talk wrestling. So he's had – and by the way, he's had Eric Bischoff on his show. He's had Vince Russo on the show. I don't know if he's ever had Cornette, and I think he's had Brian Last. He's had Tony Schiavone on his show. He's had Jade, Bianca, and there's a few more. But he's had quite a few guests on his show talking wrestling. Yeah, had Teddy Long on his show too. So we'll be having some fun picking his brain and having some fun with that. So please, guys, show up. Let's share this. We want people to be a part of it. And like I said, message. You can put your comments, whatever you like. I will be reading them out, especially with having John coming. So, and I'm hoping Ladarius is able to make it. Jerry, if you can sneak away.
If I'm able to, I will be there.
You got to. I mean, we got to have our crew.
Depends on if I'm driving all day or not.
Tell your woman to drive, man. Just let her drive for an hour.
No, because we're probably taking my car. And
Jerry's like this. Nah, Chris, I don't think I could do that. I got a couple of errands.
Not a bad driver.
It's not a bad driver. I just have a little.
She's not used to smaller cars. She's used to bigger trucks. So
you have a nice ride too. So we know that. So by the way, congratulations to you there on that. So yeah. So guys, what was your final thoughts on Raw and SmackDown, and what do you look forward to?
Okay, yep. We'll just throw it to me. Already great.
Because we love you, Lydia. And make sure you plug your stuff too, by the way. So go ahead.
No, I won't do that. But
yes,
I'll think about it. I too can turn heel. No, the point. but to go to Raw. I think with Raw we're seeing under Triple H, we're kind of seeing stories being told, which is a great sight to see. Kind of working backwards. Listen, the Chad Gable heel stuff. I do hope we get a faction with him, kind of the Alpha Academy, because I like Chad. I like his work in the ring. Even when he was doing the gimmick, like he has a personality. So I think it'll work in that regard. And kind of seeing where we go with the Judgment Day, because to be honest, like losing Rhea is not a small loss. It's like literally losing your star quarterback for a couple of months and trying to navigate through the season. That's how impactful kind of Rhea Ripley is to the Judgment Day. So kind of curious to see how they kind of maintain and function. And I hope we don't see what we saw from Damian Priest again, or letters and or tweets will be constructed. But and then and kind of going back to the tag team, the women's tag team division, I think seeing those couple of matches, like I love Kaden Carter, Katana Chance. I love them at NXT. They're just so simpatico. It works. I hope things work out there. We're seeing things with Candice and Indy. I hope to see them. I wouldn't mind them being future women's tag team champions somewhere down the road. So we're seeing a lot with the women's division, kind of from the tag team perspective there, kind of progressing on. And I think, kind of talk about with Jay and Finn, like I said, good match, solid match. Jay, like I say, just strap the rocket to Jay, which they've been doing more or less. I kind of hit on Rhea, Cody. Oh, I spent too much time on that. You can just rewind back to what we talked, to what I said there. Just insert that here if you get it there. And as far as like SmackDown's concerned, like to me, just being a fan of women's wrestling, I love what they're doing with Bayley and Naomi, and I'm really looking forward to that match Friday because it's well deserved for Naomi, and I think you kind of saw the future in Tiffany Stratton there facing Naomi once again. Naomi picking up that win that that Tiffany Stratton took from her from the first time they faced. So kind of curious to see where they go from in that direction. But overall, I'm excited for the storylines we're getting. I'm just excited for this transition. And, like I alluded to earlier, I love storylines. I love things to percolate, and there are things percolating right now. I just urge wrestling fans just to be patient and don't rush it, because if you rush it, you're not going to like it, and then you're going to still complain. So just let it percolate. Back to you in the studio.
Go ahead, Jerry.
So overall, like what I saw of each show, like he said, everything as far as Rhea, losing her is a huge loss, whether it's Judgment Day or just Raw in general, as far as ratings and all that good stuff goes. I'm glad they're using Jade finally. I mean, she's been there for months. I'm glad they're finally doing something with her because, I mean, anybody that has followed her from AEW over knows what she can do with the small amount of time she's been working. They know what she can do. They know the kind of star she can be. I would like to see her and Bianca as tag champs, honestly.
Yeah.
Or take it a step further, turn Jade or Bianca heel, have a feud. That's just me. What's up, Skrilla?
Oh, Skrilla! Couple of champs there on that one.
I'm glad they're featuring the women more, because like up until now they haven't been featured a lot in WWE, and that's been well documented as far as times getting cut, matches getting cut, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
As far as Damian and Cody go, like he said, give them time. What's up, bro? They're gonna get their matches. They're gonna get their pushes. It's coming. You just gotta wait. I mean, let it build. Let the story build. Let the character build as a champion. See, as far as the tag titles, I mean, that's kind of up in the air. I would like to see, if we're talking someone taking the belts off of Truth and Miz, I would like to see DIY do it, because they haven't been main roster tag champions yet. Honestly, I kind of like Theory and Grayson to keep those titles a little bit. Just, so you have a heel team and a baby team on, separate brands. As far as the women's title goes, the Raw women's title is kind of up in the air. I mean, we kind of spoke on that earlier.
Yeah.
The SmackDown women's title, Naomi and Bayley. I'm looking forward to that too because the matches they've had in the past have been great, and I don't expect nothing less. And if you want to give Tiffany that push, I mean, I don't think she's ready, but
I think it could be waited on.
I think it
it's a
could.
big
Yeah,
push.
I think it could wait. If you're gonna push her to a title, either integrate a new mid card women's title like you did with NXT, or stick her with somebody and have the tag titles. Stick her with a vet. Let them work together. You know, hone her in, and put them with the tag titles. That's just me.
Yeah. Ladarius's cameras froze, so I was gonna just go ahead and
You're
take
good.
them down. So, all right, so this is my final thoughts. It's real simple. I agree with everyone's thoughts here. Judgment Day, or it's like this: Rhea going down hurts Raw, hurts the women's division, and hurts Judgment Day. That is a 3-prong loss, and you will have to figure something out. I think Judgment Day, without Rhea, may run its course. Or when she gets back, she's the one that brings it together. So it could be any of those things. But so with that being said, that's where I see the whole Judgment Day picture. Now the women's division, I think is wide open now. Because before we were having a hard time picking people that could beat Rhea. You don't have that issue now because she's vacated the belt. I will say this. I am glad Liv Morgan said the revenge tour is over when she wins the title. So you could delay that as much as you want. Let her go crazy trying to get that belt.
Yep.
Let her fight whoever. Let her be a heel. Let her be the unhinged heel, the Harley Quinn of it. Let her go all legit crazy. I am going to say this, and I'm not just saying it to pop you, Jerry. I really am hoping Alexa Bliss is close, because if she is, I really would like her to win the title.
From what I've seen, she's in the process of getting back in a ring shape.
Yeah. If she's ready. Now, if she's not, don't do it. But
yeah,
I feel she'll be playing a very key role. And not only that, Triple H, do something creative with the women. Because you now have this fresh slate. And right. I'm going to go here. Even if that means Natalya wins the belt, that would be fresh because all the women respect her. They love her. It wouldn't be like everyone's mad that you put the belt on her.
No.
So you wouldn't have that issue. So that was my other. Then also back to the Cody Rhodes thing. The man finished the story. So before y'all lose your minds, give it some time. Let's see who wins the match. I'm telling you, if it's AJ, the amount of story I feel like will come out of this is going to be just amazing. Because honestly, there's a lot between AJ and Cody that can be told.
Yeah.
They're basically the same type of guy too.
And I mean, from as far as similar backgrounds to, they could play off if you had everything handed to you and I had to bust my ass.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many ways they could pull that.
And Cody will turn and probably look and go, you left what was comfortable to you. I left what was comfortable to me. I did that, so I feel like there's some stuff there. And here's the thing, folks. Ease up on the Cody with the title, the way he's holding it, all that. Just stop. Also, watch out for Damian Priest. I am concerned, like I was saying, Jerry, about you give a rah-rah speech and then you turn around and go,
not do anything. Yeah.
Hold the belt still. Let's not do that again. Let's either stay heel and attack or whatever. What's up to Matthew Daniels?
Matt?
Yep. I got somebody that said to follow.
GCW senior referee.
Uh-oh. You got people following you, my man. First you got Skrilla, now the ref. Now we're going, I'm going to get invaded here on my own show. So, but no, it's all good. So there's that. I can't wait to see more of the Bloodline saga.
Yeah.
I love the promo Jay did. And I have a feeling there's some conspiracy theories. Someone was suggesting, what if when Jay fought Priest, Jacob Fatu comes out and beats the hell out of Jay. And I'm going,
I mean, yeah.
And then the person make a joke and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were Jimmy." To dig.
Yeah.
And but honestly, I'm going, when the person said it, I was like, take the part looking like Jimmy, but I like the idea though.
Yeah. And I mean, like I told you this too, Bloodline versus Bloodline, like we said, Thomas Solo, Jacob, Rock, Jimmy, Jay, Roman, Zilla. I mean, there's your again a beautiful War Games match.
I'm like I said, I think there's so much that's going to be happening, but you have to have the slow starts.
Yeah,
you have to have the slow burns. So just relax, let it go. I mean, because look, you just got the whole Sammy and Chad Gable heel turn. So let's see how that goes, because now we got to play off what happens next. And like I said, the women's, like I said, I really think that there's an opportunity for a fresh start. And also, we do need a mid-card title for the women.
Yeah, I mean, you did it with NXT.
That travels.
Why not?
Yeah. Intercont or US. I prefer Intercontinental because they've got the market on that. Why not? A women's Intercontinental title? I've always thought that.
Yeah.
I think it would look good.
Or they just did the NXT North American. Why not just be the North American for the women in general?
I'm fine with that. Take it the NXT. Now the other rumor, I know we were supposed to get all, but they're talking about the NXT going to become the third brand.
Right.
And now that there's
they kind of already have.
Yeah, exactly. So now not blocking it, I kind of think you could do that. You could come up with all kinds of ideas. The borders have been taken off. You don't have the bumpers in bowling. You can now go full throttle anywhere. And that's what I like. Well, Jerry, I've enjoyed it. Oh,
yep.
Hold on. Got a message. Apparently somebody decided to snap in here.
Oh, God. This piece of trash.
I am Switzerland. I am neutral through this mess. This
Look,
is my show.
You're going to get enough of me in a couple of weeks. Go sit down somewhere, big boy.
All right. Guys, thank you all so much for being a part of the show. That's been Jerry, the Lone Wolf. Also, check my guy out, Ladarius. He's all over Facebook and also at Twitter at Ladarius Brown. So, guys, we're going to be around 1 o'clock Saturday. We got John Chuckery joining us from 92.9 The Game. We'll be talking about wrestling, and we're just going to have a good old time. Thank you all so much. C-Double, that's my co-host, Jerry. We're out.